everybody, this is episode 3. It's called Sand Sisters. I've gone ahead and set up the rooms and the desert and these other rooms. There are 2 structures, 1 and 2. The adventurers start in this spot. You can see there's a lot of things to investigate. There's 1 door, 2 doors, 3 doors, 4 doors. I've got all the cards set up here just for space purposes. Throughout the video, you'll see me grabbing them to read over when it tells me to do something. In this adventure, or in the previous adventure, I got all of the dice, the discovery dice. I got all the rewards. So one of the rewards is this stone amulet, which it says you may discard this at any time to add 3 fate tokens. Because I'm playing a 5-player game, I only start with 5 tokens this turn. The other one is this event. This was one of the rewards, and it says you immediately earn one of your explorers a level 2 XP card. So I got Frank this one called Tough. When he rolls fight dice, he may ignore the effect of 1x. So he's my fighter, so I'm hoping that will help out. This will go back into the episode 2 box. Let's see, what else? I spent 5 gold, not 4. I spent 5 because one of the punishments for the last episode that I did bad on was all upgrades cost 1 extra. So I had to pay 5 extra for one of the upgrades, which allows me to, let me get to it real quick and I'll tell you. It says each explorer may discard 1 fate token. So fortunately, all of my heroes, most of them didn't have any, but one had a couple, or I had 2 of them had 1. So I was able to get rid of the fate tokens. It also says each explorer gains 1 XP. Now, I don't want to spend those on 1 XP cards right now because the 1 XP cards really aren't all that helpful in my opinion. So I'm going to bank those. The professor starts with 2 gold coins. And I think that is it. The other benefit I had was I get to roll 1 discovery die before the adventure begins. I got the snake head, which I'm not going to turn into I'm not going to take a fate token to re-roll that. So right now I am starting with no discoveries at the start of the adventure. All right, I'm going to get the camera moved up top and I'll get going on this scenario number 3. All right, episode 3, let me read the introduction to you. It's called Sand Sisters. When you wake up, the sun is high in the sky. It burns with 1,000 fires already, so hot it sears its fleeting white shadow on your retinas. It is the first time in ages that the day's first light has surprised you. Why now? Cold sweat rolls down your spine. Discovering that village upset the entire team, you even more than others. Why did you drag Eleanor, Frank, and Rebecca into all this? Today is a tipping point. You can no longer turn back. Suddenly you're paralyzed. There's still time to call everything off. Some distance away, Frank whistles and gestures. The team is ready. As the Phileas, which is our balloon, floats over the dunes, the silence on board is deafening. You and your team are heading to the spot indicated on the ancient map you found during your previous incursion. You are about to throw yourselves into the lion's, or rather the serpent's den, and stare straight into its eyes. Are you sure? Or is it merely a tale you tell yourself? You land relatively far from the site to avoid attracting attention and hike to the base of 2 twin buildings. 1 building, 2 buildings. My players start right here. All right. At various times when I plunder these items inside, I'm supposed to check off boxes, and when I check off a certain number of them, certain things happen. So we'll play this by ear. First player starts with this card, which is right here. It's called the Encrypted Map. It says, if any explorer in your zone has the cipher key, you can discard that and this to take the purple hand. Well, I don't have the cipher key yet, so I'm assuming I've got to find that. All right. As always, Frank will go first, followed by Eleanor, then Rebecca, then the professor, and then Riot at the end because he has the healing ability at the end of his turn. So I like to see who needs healing. Okay, time to go. Let's see. There are no pre-turn effects, and there are no enemies out. So it goes right to the actions. Frank will go first. Frank will move here for 1 action, and I'm going to have him go ahead and explore this one right here, the orange scarab, which is, you take the card, orange scarab, or no, it's the gong, excuse me. All right, take this one, and let's take it. Nearby, you recognize the worrying way the ground sometimes ripples in this part of the world. The metallic heads of several snakes pop up out of the sand. If they weren't mere machines, you'd swear they did it just to terrorize you. Discard 1 to 3 fate tokens from your backpack and add the same number of knots of snakes to this zone. Well, the good news is he has no fate tokens, so I don't have to discard any. And since that, I don't have to add knots of snakes. So that's good. So this card gets discarded, and his turn is over. Now we go to Eleanor. Eleanor is right here. She will move here, and I'm going to have her explore the door. The door is the red gong, and I can remove this. And the red gong is right here. It's a door. This building isn't very large, but it is imposing in its own right. From afar, it seemed to mirror the edifice across from it. You force open a door marked with an empty eye symbol. It seems to be watching you. It is unsettling. The entrance offers little resistance. Oddly, this does not reassure you. The echo from the squeaky door tells you the room is empty. There are no enemies in sight. Put 1 fate token on the reinforcements card. What? On the reinforcements card. I don't have a reinforcements card, but I tell you what, I'll take a fate token and we'll call this the reinforcement card. I don't know what that is. Reinforcements card. Anyway. All right, I will tell you, this is my 4th game of this, and there are holes in this game. There are some explanations that are left out. There are some errors that have occurred. I'm not going to say this game is not well polished. It is polished. There have been some errors, though, and I don't know what that is. I have no idea. I've read the instructions. I've read the introduction for this adventure. I don't know what reinforcement card that means. All right, let's keep going. It is now Rebecca's turn. I really want to keep them together, so that's why I'm having everybody go this way. Rebecca will move here, and I'll have her explore this one, which is the Cobra Head, orange. And that is this first card. It's an event. You see a spear planted in the sand. You try to pull it out, but it seems attached to something. In that instance, you feel like Arthur with Excalibur. You only hope you're Arthur. If you keep trying, take the purple gong card. Otherwise, take the purple Cobra Head. If not, put this card back in the pile. Oh no, if you keep trying, take this card, then take this card. If not, put the card back in the pile. It could be a monster. It could be something really good. If you keep trying, let's take it out. I'll pull the purple gong, which is here. Probably going to regret this. Oh, it's a lance. Okay, equip. You may ignore, if you equip this, you may ignore the search and move penalties on human adversary profiles. That's interesting, but that's not really what it means. Normally, if you have an enemy and you do a search or a move, you take additional damage. So what it's telling you is you can get out of that. I don't know. She already has a weapon, so I'm just going to put this in her. She has the whip. I'm going to put this in her backpack for now, and maybe she'll equip it later. I don't know. All right. She moved. She picked up. She is done. And then it said after you take that, take the purple Cobra Head. All right. An event. With great effort, you've managed to pull out the lance and a forearm of a corpse that had been gripping it. The skin, while dried out, still shows interesting ritual tattoos that you take time to examine. Roll 2 inspection dice and log the results. All right. I got an X and a Cobra Head, which is not helpful. Does she have to re-roll anything? No, she cannot. I could take one of these to turn that into anything I want. I'm not going to. I'm going to log this as nothing. So I got nothing out of that inspection. And that is the end of her turn. Now it's the Doc. Doc will go here for 1 move, and he'll move in here for 2, and he is done. Let's see. Okay, so he's done. And then Riot will move 1, 2, and he is done. All right, end of the turn. There are no start of turn effects. There are no enemies in play, so we go right back to me. So Frank will move in here, and he will inspect this one, the blue eye. Right here. I'm trying to make my way to that room, which you can see has 4 things in it. I got to think that's a good room to be in. All right, event. The room is reminiscent of a refectory. It is full of massive wooden tables and benches. Everything is covered in a thick layer of dust. The last feast here was clearly not yesterday, depending on who you count as guests, that is. Your intrusion has caused rats to scurry away. Judging by their size, they've clearly been feasting on something. Put 1 fate token on the reinforcement card. Again, I have no idea what that is. It's probably going to come back to bite me at some point. So he moved and he investigated. He is done. All right. Next is Eleanor. Eleanor is right here. I will have her move in here and investigate the blue cobra head. All right, this one. An event. Seemingly out of nowhere, the tomb robbers whom you've interrupted on the job burst in. They clearly have no intention of sharing their loot. Add as many tomb raiders to your zone as there are explorers, -1. So there's 4 explorers, so I add 3 tomb raiders. All right, 3. Hang on just 1 second. All right, I got the tomb raiders here. So 1, 2, and 3. Unfortunately for her, she cannot fight. She already took her turn. So it is now Rebecca's turn. Rebecca will move here. She will fight. She's got the whip that allows her to reroll 1 dice 1 time when she fights. So she will fight. She will roll 2 dice. Oh, I need to get out the bad guy cards. Okay, so the way this works is there will be 5 cards for the Tomb Raiders. I got to find them. Tomb Robbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's actually 6. There's an elite one which doesn't come into play during this game. 5 of them right here. 1 per adventurer. And since all 5 are in here, what I do, and these are all a little bit different in how they react to a player. So what you do is you shuffle them up. And the first time a hero or an explorer encounters a bad guy, you draw from this. But since they're all in here, now I draw it. So I'll start with Frank. Frank gets this one. Eleanor gets this one. Rebecca gets this one. Professor gets this one. And Riot gets this one. All right, so we are at Rebecca. So Rebecca's Tomb Raider says, let's see. The start of turn effect is check off 1 plunder space in the logbook. Ugh, so I need to kill these guys quick. All right, so she rolled. Did she roll? No, I didn't roll yet. Or did I? I can't remember. I need to roll 2 dice. All right, so here we go. I got an exclamation and a cobra head. Now she gets the reroll. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reroll. I'm gonna re-roll this one and change this one. I change this one to a check, and I have to take one of these and put it on her. And then I'm gonna re-roll this one. And got the same thing. Give a tomb robber 1 injury and check off 1 plunder space in the book. So I'm supposed to be checking plunders. So we've got 1 checkbox. 1 checked off. I thought it was plundering here. No, it's plundering based on these cards. Okay, so 1 injury will go to, I'll give it to this one right here. And she gets a 2nd turn, so she will fight again. she'll roll both dice. She got a green check, which allows her to put a damage, and this one has 2 health, so I'll remove him. And the X, because there are still enemies left, the X says take 1 injury for each tomb robber in your zone. So she will take 2 injuries. Ah, that's not good. Okay. It is now the professor's turn. The professor does not have a weapon, but he still rolls 2. It's as if you're fighting with your hands, I guess, or something that you're holding. Okay, so he will fight. I got a check and an X. A check says give a tomb robber 1 injury. So I'll give this one an injury. The X says, on his, says take 1 injury for each tomb robber. So he takes 2 damage. Okay, and he'll attack again. All right, so this green will kill this one. And the exclamation will allow me to put an injury on this one, but I also have to take another wound. So he's got 3. Ugh, okay. And then finally, Riot. Riot will fight. He only needs 1 hit to kill this guy, so 1 green check. I didn't get it, but you know what? I will use this exclamation to give this one 1 injury, so it kills it. And of course, I have to check off 1 plunder. Ooh, okay. So there are now 2 plunders. The problem I have is in the book. This is going to get expensive. Check out. So the second one. So I don't know if you can see this, probably not, but there are circles that are checked off. When you check off one of these that has a special symbol, whoever's turn it is has to discard an item worth at least 1 coin. So the problem is, he only has this halberd. Actually, you know what? Turn an exclamation into a check. So he will not have to do that. He will not have to put a check mark because this would have turned to a check mark, which would have killed it. So never mind, I should have read that. All right, but normally whoever kills the next tomb robber or takes damage or whatever, whoever gets the next plunder check has to discard an item worth at least 1 coin. And all my guys have stuff that's worth 2 or 3, so that's not good. All right, so all of them are gone. Riot went once. He will move here, and for his special action, he can heal someone in an adjacent zone. He will heal the professor of 1 wound, and that is the end of his turn. All right, there are no tomb robbers in play, and I don't have any start of turn effects, so it goes right back to Frank. Frank will move here. He will pick up this blue scarab right here. A stone altar laden with various trinkets fills the center of the room. It is entirely covered in engravings. The patterns are familiar. They are most certainly connected to the cult and its disciples, but you're no longer sure if you've seen them on the forearms of the living or the dead. Roll 3 inspection dice and log the results. All right, here we go. I got 2 magnifiers, and I'm not going to change this because I really don't want to get rid of... Well, I am. I'm going to change this to a torch. And Frank gets a fate token. I remember from the last game, get the fate tokens. You really need to do that. All right, so he moved and he picked up. So he is done. Whose turn is it now? It is Eleanor's. Eleanor will move here. I like her to do the doors because a lot of times the doors do inspections and she gets to re-roll inspection dice. So she will investigate the red cobra head. The red cobra head. Right here. So she moved and she'll inspect. This door is firmly closed. There is a mechanism with a keyhole. It is a little rusty, but is not weakened. It is impossible to force your way in. If any explorer in your zone has the rusty key, discard it and then take the red scarab. If not, put this back in the pile. All right, so that door is locked. So we can't go there, so I guess we got to go out here. All right, so she moved, she explored, so she is done. Next will be Rebecca. Rebecca will go 1, 2. She's done. Professor will go 1, 2. He's done. And Riot will go 1, 2. He's done, and he'll heal the professor of a wound. And that is the end of the turn. There are no start of turn effects, and there are no enemies in play, so it goes right back to Frank. Frank is going to, he can't go in here because it's locked. I'm going to have him go 1, 2, he's done. Eleanor will inspect this blue Anubis card. The still fresh body of a zealot is lying in the back of the room in the shadows with a dagger in one hand and a papyrus scroll in the other. As you bring your torch over, the zealot's chest puffs up. By the time you realize it's a trick, he's already taken a jab with his dagger. Take 2 injuries and add a zealot. Great. All right. So the zealot is different. So she gets 2 injuries, and there is a zealot. Let me get the zealot. All right, the zealot right here. And she is the only one who's encountered the zealot, so let me get a zealot card out for her. Priestess, scarab, would be the last one. Okay, so here are the zealot cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is the elite, so I'll put that away. All right, so I'm going to shuffle these up and just pick one for her. All right, so she gets this one, and I'm going to put the rest of these over here because chances are where there is one zealot, there are more zealots. So she has got a zealot with 2 health. Its start of the turn is discard 1 injury from a zealot. If that is not possible, take an injury. Okay. All right, so if she runs, she'll take an injury for each zealot. So if she runs, and I think I'm going to do that. I don't want her to have to fight. She would need to roll 2 green check marks to kill it, and it's going to heal up 1. If she only does 1 injury, it's going to heal. So I'm going to have her move 1 here, and she will take another injury. But it won't follow. And how do I know that? Because if it will tell you, there are event cards that will tell you when to move the enemies, and sometimes on the card itself it will tell you to when to move these. But right now, that zealot is going to stay there, probably to protect that door, is my guess. All right, she should not have looked at that. Okay, so this is her zealot card. I need to leave that here. That is the end of her turn. Let's go to Rebecca. Rebecca is here. I'm going to have her investigate this orange scarab. Okay, right here. An event. A short distance from the entrance to the building, a pillory is holding a sun-bleached skeleton. A renegade, most likely. You gulp. If the goal of the scene was to make visitors uneasy, it has succeeded. But the warning isn't enough to stop you. If you take time to examine the scene, put 1 fate token on the reinforcement card and roll 3 inspection dice and roll the results. If not, put this card back. Well, I need these, so I am going to do this. I'm going to discard this, put 1 fate token. All right, so I take a fate token here, and I'm going to roll 3, and I got a gear, a torch, and an X. All right. She cannot reroll X's, so let's do this. I got a gear and a torch. All right. So she investigated, and now I will have her move here. She is done. Okay. And now we go to the professor. The professor is right here. I'll have him investigate this. It's the eye, orange eye, which is this one. Event. An imposing carved stone covered in hieroglyphics stands triumphant between sand and sky. At its base, iron chains begin to move. 2 giant scorpions leap out on either side of the stone and scurry dangerously towards you, pulling on their chains and snapping their gigantic sharp pincers. Add 2 scorpions. Well, I just so happen to have 2 here. Add 4 chains to this zone. Okay, so that's what these are for. There are chains here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm assuming they will keep those scorpions there. Okay. Explorers in this zone do not take adversary profiles for the scorpions unless they choose to perform a fight action. When the last chain token is removed, the scorpions break free. Discard this card at that time. Then the explorers in this zone each take a scorpion adversary profile. Well, when do the chain snap? I'll bet you the chain snap based on other cards. I don't know that for a fact, but let's play it. So I don't have to worry about attacks right now. So he investigated, and now I'm going to have him move, and he'll move here. He's done. Riot. Riot is right here. He will go 1, 2, and he will heal the professor of his last injury. And actually, Eleanor, well, he could have healed it. Now, Eleanor needs to be over here. Okay, so never mind. So this goes away, and he is done. Now, the bad news. The scorpions. I don't take scorpion cards yet, it says. So I don't have to worry about that. And there are no enemies. Well, there's an enemy here, but it stays put. Discard an injury in your zone. Okay, so it's not in my zone. All right, so let's see. It goes back to Frank. Frank is right here. He'll go 1, 2. You can't move diagonally, by the way. I wish you could. 1, 2. He's done. Eleanor. Oh, you know what? Eleanor has 2 extra injury slots. Oh, I totally forgot about that. She's got this thing called armor, so she gets 2 more. All right, so Frank's done. Eleanor will go 1, 2. She's done. She will go 1, 2. She's done. Professor is here. Now, do I open the door or do I investigate? Let's do the... I really like Eleanor to do the door. So Professor will look at the orange Ankh symbol. Okay. An event. You turn over the bodies of 3 robbers stretched out peacefully on the sand. You flinch when you see their tortured faces, twisted in pain with gaping mouths and missing teeth. A cursory examination reveals several bite marks on their leathery skin. If you take time to examine them, put 1 fate token on the reinforcement card. All right, I'll do that. Roll 3 inspection dice. What did I do with the dice? 3. 2 books and a magnifier. All right. Book and 2 magnifiers. All right. That was a good roll. He inspected, and I guess he can inspect again. He gets 2 actions. Yeah, let's do it. Let's have him inspect the orange Anubis, which is this one. An event. A bag was left behind here. As you take it, an impressive rusty key slips out of the opening and falls heavily to the sand. You pick it up right before reptiles emerge from the sand with their terrifying hiss. Add 3 knots and take the purple scarab. All right, so purple scarab and 3 knots. Okay. Ugh. All right, so this goes away. 3 knots of snakes. 1, 2, 3. All right, so there are now 3 knots of snakes. Now, since 4 people are here, I have to get those out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Which one is the elite? That one. Okay, so I'll shuffle these up. And the professor will get this one. Riot will get this one. Frank will get this one. And Rebecca will get this, which leaves this one for Eleanor, so I might as well give it to her. All right, so the professor is now got a knot of snakes. And we are to Riot, who also now has to reveal his. Riot will fight. He's got 2 fight dice. He also has a halberd, which says turn a exclamation into a check. All right. So his first will be, okay, so that kills one of them. And the exclamation says, take an injury and move 1 knot of snakes from your zone to an adjacent. I will move it here. Why not? Okay, it's adjacent, so it slithers away, and he takes an injury. For his second action, I'm going to have him fight again. And I got an exclamation. So oh wait, hold on. Turn it into a check. So he did not have to take that injury. Because he rolled 2. So 1 turned into a check. So this one will turn into a check and get rid of this other one. And I don't do the red X because all enemies are gone. So that worked out good. It's the end of the turn, so he can heal 1. I will have him heal Eleanor of 1 injury. Or should I have him heal Rebecca? Eleanor, definitely. Okay, that is his turn. Now, start of the turn, these stay put. Oh, I got this. Rusty key. The rust is eaten away at the iron key. It's hard to tell if it can still do its job. I think that was this door right here, which was, I already put that symbol away. What was it? It was episode 3. It was the orange cobra head. So the orange cobra head said, where did I do that? It was this one. It's locked. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I forgot. I should have put it back in there. Oh, no, that's not it. Hold on. The door of episode 3 was the red cobra head. Excuse me, red cobra head, which is this one. And it was if you have the rusty key. So I do have the rusty key now. So I could go back here and check this out.
Check out the new RPG and Wargame newsletter. Each week, the Tabletop Engineer shares news, products, Kickstarters, and much more related to the gaming hobby. It's free to subscribe, so check out the link in the video description below to sign up.
Okay, these are done. Okay. So he inspected that last one. What was it? It was the red, the orange head. What did I do with it? It was the purple scarab. There's a lot of things to track in this game. Hold on. It was this one. That was it. Add 3 snakes and then take this card. So who did this? It was Riot. Riot's the one. No, Professor did it, didn't he? Because Riot fought all of these guys. So Professor has the key because he's the one that did the inspection. So the Professor has to go back here to unlock that door. So the question is, do I do that? Or do I plow on into here? Or do I split the party? Let's have Frank go. Do I want to kill this snake? It's not hurting anybody right now. Let's leave it alone. I'm going to have Frank. It's Frank's turn. Frank's either got to go through this door or go back. You know what? I'm going to have Frank move here 1, and I'll have him fight this snake. Now, he rolls 3 dice, and he has a crowbar which says roll an extra die. So he gets to roll 4 dice, and all I need is one green check, and I got it. So he does kill the final snake. He'll have to investigate this item on his next turn. So he moved and he fought. He is done. Eleanor will go 1, and she will investigate this door, which is the red Anubis head. Let's see, right here. All right. This small building seems to be an exact replica of the building across from it. Something about these twin buildings is unsettling. Someone has already broken down the door. A full eye symbol is carved into the wood. The inside seems to be a living quarters. All right, so she is done. She can't do anything. Rebecca. Rebecca will move 1, and she'll investigate the blue, whatever that funky symbol is. Right here. You open a very promising looking chest. It gives off a slight creak. It is hopelessly empty, but the room you're in is not. Behind you, the sound of blades being unsheathed slices through the silence. Add as many Tomb Raiders to your zone as there are explorers in play, -1. Not in the zone, in play. So there's 5 in play. So I have to put 4 tomb robbers in this room. Wow. All right. 4. So she moved and she investigated. So she is done. She cannot fight. Fortunately, the professor can go in and he will fight. He gets to roll 2 green, or 2 fight dice. I got 2 green, which is 2 damage. So that's enough to kill one of these. And he takes no damage. So, because his tomb robber just says give a tomb robber an injury, so, and they can take 2. So he'll do it again. Let's have him fight again. Come on, 2 checkboxes. I got 1 and 1. So 1 means an injury here, and it says give another 1 injury. So I kill another one, but I check off 1 plunder space. So unfortunately for the professor, he has to get rid of an object that is worth $1. He doesn't have anything. He does. He has the stone amulet, which is worth 2. So he has to discard this. Great. Okay, that's gone. So that's not bad. But he didn't take an injury, so he's done. All right, Riot will move in, and he will fight. So he only gets 1. Wait, Professor moved. Oh, you know what? Professor took 2 actions. He took a 3rd action, which means this one comes back, which means his card comes back. I took an extra turn. I shouldn't have done that. All right, so he killed 1 robber. All right, so he's done. Riot moves in. Riot can only fight once. He gets an exclamation, which he can turn that into a green. And he can turn that into a green, which I will do, and take a fate token. I am now out of fate tokens. No, I've got 1 left, excuse me. So he kills another one. And that is it. He is done. So now it's the start of the turn effects. My characters don't have any. However, the 2 do. So the start of turn effects is check off 1 plunder space in the logbook for each of your traumas. So I'm sorry. So we start with Eleanor, Rebecca. Hers is check off 1 plunder space. All right. So unfortunately, that would be the second one, because earlier I made the mistake and gave the second one when he did, and he didn't. So she has to get rid of an item worth at least 1. She'll get rid of this lance, which stinks. I really like that lance, but anyway. And then we go to the professor, and his says check off 1 plunder space for each trauma. He has no trauma, so he doesn't have to do that. And then finally, we go to Riot, and Riot has a tomb robber, and his is check off 1 plunder space for each card in your backpacks. He has nothing in his backpack, so he doesn't have to check off a plunder space. All right. Okay, so far so good. It is now my turn. Frank will investigate the orange hand. The last card. You realize too late that the sand under your feet is slipping away and sucking you down. Thrashing about only makes things worse. Lay the miniatures of explorers in this zone on their sides. Explorers whose miniatures are on their sides cannot perform any actions other than the following. Move. Roll 2 inspection dice. If you roll a torch, or if you have a rope, stand your miniature up. if scorpions are in play, take the purple card. When there are no more explorers, discard. So he is stuck. But fortunately, it is his turn. He inspected. He's got one action left. So he can roll 2 inspection dice. And if he rolls a torch, he can stand up. I'm going to take this and turn it to a torch. I take the last fate token, so I have no more to take. He can stand up, so I can discard this. Okay. Frank is done. Now we go to Eleanor. Eleanor will go 1. She can either fight. She'll fight. Why not? She's going to fight. Ooh, 2 X's. Eleanor's, that's her Knot of Snakes. Where is her Tomb Raider card? Tomb Robber card. Huh. What'd I do with it? Here's the Knot of Snakes. Zealot, Mummy. There's 1. There's 2. There's 3. No. Where did her... Oh, here's hers. 2 X's. Take 1 injury for each tomb robber in your zone. So she takes 2 injuries. Now, normally that would put her at 4, but she is at 4, but which would be bad. But she's got armor, which gives her 2 extras, so that's a good thing. She moved and she fought. She is done. Rebecca can reroll 1 fight die. She will fight. I'll reroll this one. This will allow her to give an injury here. The X for her tomb robber is take an injury for each robber, so she takes 2 injuries. She's now at max. She's at 4. If she takes 1 more, she gets a trauma. I don't know if I want her to fight again, because if she takes a trauma, let's do it. Come on. 2. That will allow me to kill this one. 2 injuries. All right. So she is done. We move over to the professor, who will fight. All he needs is 1 hit. He does not get it. Well, it says give a tomb robber 1 injury. All right. So that kills this last one. And check off 1 plunder space. So now we have 3. And when you get to 5, it was 2, and then after that, 3 more. Let me double check the book. Make sure I had that right. Yeah, 2 more. The 3rd one, the 5th one, 1, 2, 3, 4. The 5th one will have a bad effect. Okay. So the professor fought, and he will move. He's done. Riot will move here. He will inspect the blue gong, which is this one. Event. A ray of light pierces the ceiling and illuminates a mural on the wall. The mural shows members of a cult in a circle around something, a force of some kind perhaps, or a type of energy. A divine apparition maybe. Your guess is as good as any. Roll 2 inspection dice and log the results. 2 gears. All right, I will take those. Okay. That goes away. So he moved and he inspected. It's the end of the action turn, so he can heal 1. He will heal Rebecca of 1. Actually, no, he'll heal, not Eleanor, he'll heal Rebecca. Excuse me, that's what I meant. Rebecca gets healed. All right, so that's the end of Riot's turn. There are no enemies in play, no start of turn actions. I don't know what takes these chains away, but I'm sure something will. It is now Frank's turn. Frank will go 1, 2. Eleanor will go 1, and she'll inspect the blue falcon. This imposing chest was used to store food. Today, though, even the rats have abandoned it. Put 1 fate token on the reinforcement card. Those are going to come back to bite me. I know they will. All right. She moved and she talked. All right, so now it is Rebecca's turn. Rebecca will move, and she'll investigate this door, which is this red, strange symbol. And this one right here. Door. The door was smashed in violently. It leads to a dorm. Put a fate token. These fate tokens, I guarantee you it's going to be enemies of some sort. They're all just going to come climbing out of me. All right. So she moved and she explored. So she's done. And he's done. All right. So that leaves the professor and Riot. Professor moves in. I'm not going to investigate. Instead, I'm going to pass my turn to Riot. He will move in. He's adjacent here. I will have him heal Eleanor of 1, and he is done. No enemies, no start of turn things, so it is now Frank's turn. Frank will go 1, 2. Eleanor will go 1. I will have her inspect the green gong. This one. A falcon. It's a pet. Equipment. During the equipment reorganization phase, you may give an item to any explorer, no matter where they are. Nice. If you roll at least 2 X's or red X's on any of the dice, discard this card. So that's cool. So she can equip that into her yellow. She's got a slot for it. If you roll at least 2, so at any time I can give an item to another explorer, which doesn't really help. I haven't been doing that in this game. It really hasn't played into the game much. Maybe it is. Maybe if you're splitting the party, but I tend to keep my party here. All right, so she moved and she investigated, so she's done. Rebecca. I get them confused. Rebecca will move in and she will investigate the last one, the green cobra head. The last one is it? Sure enough. Event. You find a trap door hidden under a bed. A complex mechanism opens and closes it. The mechanism consists of thin metal strips that vibrate differently in response to sound waves. If any explorer in your zone has the Ode to Vaporous, you may activate. If you do, take the purple card. If not, put it back in the pile. All right, so I can't. So this has to go back here. This goes back in. All right, so that was a dead end. Let me think. So that was Rebecca. So now we got to get back over here. All right, so now it is the professor's turn. Professor will go 1, 2. Riot will go 1. And he'll stop there so that he can heal her of 1. All right. And now it is, wait a minute, why did I move? Yeah, he moved. All right, so that's it. All right, so now, start of the turn, nothing. No action, so it goes to Frank. 1, 2. It goes to Eleanor. 1, 2. Goes to Rebecca. 1, 2. And then Professor goes 1, 2. Riot goes 1, 2. He will heal 1 from Rebecca. That's the end of the turn. Again, no events. So Frank will go 1, 2. Eleanor goes 1, 2. 1, 2. Professor goes 1. I think this was the door. 2. Riot will go 1, 2, and he'll heal Rebecca again. Back to Frank. 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Professor is not going to go in there and fight. He'll just stay put. He'll move in, heal Eleanor of 1 into the turn. At some point, these are going to get released. I just know it's coming. All right, Frank's turn. Frank moves here, and he will fight. He gets to roll 4 dice. All he needs, Frank has a... He does not have a Zealot card. So let me pick one at random. I'll pick this one. All right, so they have 2 health. So he needs 2 check marks. Unfortunately, take an injury, give a Zealot injury. So he does kill it, but he also takes 2 injuries. Wow, okay. All right, so he is got 2. All right, Frank. That door is locked, but if I remember right, Eleanor, well, Frank went, then now Eleanor. Eleanor goes here. Goes here. It was the red door. If any explorer in your zone. Okay, so he's not in my zone yet. So Rebecca goes, the key is in the professor's sense. So the key on his turn, he'll go 1, and it's his turn. So he can pick the red scarab. The key slips into the keyhole with a click. The object turns in the casing of its own accord. The door slides open to reveal a small room full of dusty archives. In the middle of the room, the leathery corpse of a former cult priest is kneeling before a low table. The scene reminds you of an execution. So it's a corpse. All right, well, that's good. So the professor went, and he did the door, so his turn is done. And now Riot's on it. Riot will go 1, 2, and he'll heal Frank of 1. All right, and that is the end of the turn. Again, no actions to take other than Frank will move 1, and I'll have him pick up there's the corpse. I'm not going to mess with the corpse. I will mess with the tablet. It's got a picture on it. So it's the green scarab. This one. Put 1 fate token on the reinforcement cards. Okay. Frank went. Now it is Eleanor. Eleanor will move, and she'll investigate the book, or the chest. It's the green falcon. This one. In a chest, you find some parchments. You handle them carefully. Unfortunately, they're of no use. Roll 2 inspection dice. Log the results. All right. Book and a gear. All right. Gear and a book. Okay. That is that. So she's done. Rebecca will move in here and examine this one, which is the green strange symbol, which is this one. A chest full of old papyrus and few cobwebs. In it you find an especially interesting manuscript containing, among other things, a translation of the very ancient texts about the cult. They mention a certain Rayotep, but you can't quite tell if he's a god or a pharaoh. Roll 2 inspection dice, record. If you rolled at least 1 book, you find an illustrated page that seems to be very important. I did not do that, so I don't get to roll 2 inspection dice, 2 magnifiers. 1, 2. All right. That was good. Not good that I can't take that card. And then last, Professor moves in. And I guess I'll inspect this last one, the corpse, the green Anubis head. Right here. You examine the body more closely. The zealot clearly died in this position, his throat slit. The dry air has already begun mummifying the body. A leather tube is sticking out of his ragged tunic. You relieve him of it. Inside the tube is a map that you will need to decipher. Roll 2 inspection dice. X and a cobra. I cannot turn that into, because I'm out of fate tokens. So now I get nothing. So I can't roll. Oh wait, he can re-roll. I will spend 1 gold to re-roll the X. And I got a book. All right, I needed that. All right, got a book. All right, so then it says take the purple eye card. The purple eye, okay. Purple eye card? There is no purple eye card. Did I already take it by accident? There's no purple eye card. Well, there you go, live on camera. Take the purple eye card. I wonder if it means this brown eye card. That could be it. Maybe no, it's purple, but let's see. But this is it. It's a sheet of papyrus. It says it's a map. Okay, hold on. You were looking at me. No, that's not it. Okay, it's not. So error. We do not have a purple eye card in here. There you go. an error, and then these came right out of the box out of a sealed pack, so it didn't drop on the floor or anything. It is truly missing. Great, and that's probably something that I need. So now I don't know how to proceed. This said you had to get this scroll of whatever. What is this? Okay, take the purple. Okay, here we go. Each explorer may perform the special action. May just search, roll, and fight. If you roll at least 3. Oh, I got it. Okay. Got it. Okay. So these guys will stay here until I decide to do this, which is fine because it didn't mess up the game. I can go and do that at any time. Here's my concern. I think that purple card was what is going to give me access to this over here. I could be wrong. Could be wrong. But let's play this out. There are no enemies. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have all my people. It will go, Riot will be able to go 1, 2. That's one action. 1, 2. So he can heal twice. So I'll have him heal this one and this one. And the reason for that is I just want to fast move them all the way over here because nothing's going to happen until they get here. All right. So here's how this works. The chains get removed. So each explorer in this zone may perform this special action. You can do so for free when you get this card. Search. Roll 5 inspection dice. If you roll at least 3 books, the words on the thing chaining them have been deciphered. You may re-roll the dice as many times as you like. Remove 1 chain token for each re-roll. When you have deciphered the writing, the explorer takes the brown ankh, then discard this. All right, so the question is, you gotta have to fight these guys. So let's try to. You may do so for free. Roll 5 inspection. If you roll at least 3, so she's the one who's going to be the best at this because she can re-roll any number of your dice. You may every time you roll, you may discard one of the coins to turn a die to any side. This is not going to be easy. Rolling 3 books on 5 dice, pretty much going to be impossible. But I don't have to remove a chain unless I do a re-roll, and they can do this as often as they like. Let's play it out. He'll move here for 1 action, and I'm going to have him roll the 5 dice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just trying to get 3 books. I got a book and nothing, so he's done. I'm going to have Eleanor move here, and she'll do the exact same thing. Remove 1 chain from this roll. You don't have to do any re-rolls. So this is kind of stupid, because I could sit here forever and just roll these dice until I get 3 books. I got nothing, so she'll try it. Nothing. The professor will try it. Now, if I get 2 books, I'll spend that to change it. Oh, look at that. 3 books. All right, so no re-rolls. You may re-roll the dice as many times as you like. Remove 1 chain. When an explorer has managed to decipher it, take... Okay, so they stay put, and I take the brown ankh. You watch. It's going to free these it's going to free these dudes. The sacred text is revealed. Beyond the shores, outside of time, safe from the world, snug in the darkness, the cult shall watch over the supreme divinity until he awakens. When you get this card, check off any space in the logbook. Well, I will check off another torch. All right. And then I guess I discard this. Oh, Ode to Vaporous. There we go. All right, so that was the professor. He's got it. So lastly, 1, and then he will heal. Why did I move him up there? They would have all been here. He'll move 1, 2, and then he will heal. Who's got damage? He'll heal her. All right, so everybody's unhealed, and the scorpions are still chained up. So it goes to Frank. Frank will go 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and there's nobody to heal, so everybody's healed. Oh, nope, he can heal himself. Then Frank will go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. And he will do the green, which is, if any explorer has the Ode to Vaporous, he does, take the purple Ankh card. Put staircase A1 in this room. I forgot about this. Here's staircase A1. All right, so it's in there. So there's a stairs going down, apparently. An explorer in this zone may perform the following special action. Move, discard this card, and take the brown falcon. Ooh, okay. So there's going to be a room down there, I bet. All right, or rooms. An explorer in this zone may perform the following. Move, then take the... All right, so Riot moved in and did the inspection, which revealed this. So that's the end of the turn. Nobody to heal. Or was that Frank? I can't remember. We'll just start there. All right, so Frank, let's send Frank down. Frank will go down, take the brown falcon. There's a whole bunch of brown cards here, which tells me there's probably a different level to this adventure. There is. The spiral staircase takes you into the entrails of the edifice. When you reach the bottom, you rein in your enthusiasm when you see a silhouette covered in bandages in an old sarcophagus. And that thing rises. You're struck with terror. Add the setup shown here and then move into room F. Any explorer in room E, which is where they ended, may use a move action to enter room F and vice versa. Okay, so let me get room F. All right, here is, I'll just put it right here in the dead center. And there's another staircase here called A2. There is a mummy and a green eye. Okay, the green eye. Let me get that one. I think I've used them all up. We'll just remember that's there. Okay, the mummy. Let me get a mummy. All right, here is a mummy. Never encountered one of those before. And Frank is in there. So Frank moves, so he's got one action. But let's do the mummy. So the 5 mummy cards, there's the elite, don't need that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's shuffle these up. And Frank will pick one. He picks this one. Ooh, they have 5 health. All right, 5 health. Frank will fight. He gets to roll 4 dice. I rolled a green check. I could have sworn I rolled 2 exclamations. I'll re-roll this one, I'm pretty sure. Okay, a second one, a third one, and an X. All right, so 2 checks, put 2 injuries. All right, 1, 2. An exclamation, take 2 injuries. Can I not re-roll that? Nope, I cannot. All right, so he takes 2. Just like that. 1, 2. And then the red X, take a trauma or 1 fate token. There are no more fate tokens, so I have to take a trauma card. I shuffled that. Broken thumb, take 1 injury after each of your search actions. All right, well, that's not bad. I won't be doing any searching. He's done. Now will come Eleanor. She'll come down and she'll fight. She only gets 1 roll, and it's 2 dice. But I need to kill this mummy. She got an exclamation, which her mummy says an exclamation is take 2 injuries. So she takes 2. All right. Rebecca comes down, and she takes a card, and she'll fight, and she gets to re-roll 1 fight die. I will re-roll one of those X's, and I get that, which says hers is take 2 injuries. And And the X is take a trauma or a fate token. Great. No, so she has to take a trauma. Thigh wound, max 1. You may only perform 1 move action per turn. Okay. So she can't move twice. All right, that's on her. The doc comes down. He will fight. Jeez, I am not doing this. Take 2 injuries for the exclamation. And the X's take 1 trauma, or if they're all getting traumas. And X equals 2 X's. Ooh, all right. So Riot comes down. Riot, he will fight. He gets 1 green, and this says you can turn, and his halberd lets me turn this into. So 2 damage. But unfortunately, the mummy is still alive, which is bad for me, because watch this. So now we do the pre-turn attacks. Frank's mummy. Start of turn. Another explorer takes a trauma. If there are no explorers in your zone, take a fate token. So another explorer. I'll have Eleanor. She hasn't taken a trauma. I'll have her take 1, because I have one of my upgrades to my camp is the first aid tent, which allows every explorer between games to get rid of at least 1 trauma, or to get rid of 1 trauma max. So she got cognitive impairment. Your second action during your turn cannot be the same as your first. All right. So that was Frank's. Her mummy says, discard an injury from the mummy, or every explorer takes 2. Well, I'll take 1 off the mummy. That's a no-brainer. All right, Rebecca's is discard 1 injury or take a trauma. I'll take 1 off. The mummy keeps healing. The doc, his mummy is take a trauma or take a fate. So he has to take another trauma. Take 1 injury after each move action. Wow. Okay. And then finally, Riot, his is discard an injury or take a fate. He has to discard an injury. So the mummy just totally healed back up. Now it's my turn. Frank will fight. He gets 4 fight dice. He needs to do 4 damage. And roll 1 extra die. Yeah, that was right. All right, so come on, Frank. 3. 4, because that one does, it says, no, so he does 3 damage, 1, 2, 3, and this says take 2 injuries, so he's at 4 injuries. All right, that was his first action. I'm going to have him go ahead and do a second action to kill it. All he needs is 1 green check. He got it. All right, so the mummy dies. All right, so the mummy goes away. That was his second action, so he is done. He cannot go down A2. Eleanor will investigate this green eye, which is right here. Among trinkets worn down by the centuries, a solid metal chest sits on a table as if proud of its longevity. Roll 3 inspection dice. If you roll at least 1 gear, take the purple falcon. If not, put 1 fate token on the reinforcement. Oh, so I need a gear. Come on. And it doesn't say to record these, so I don't get to record these. I did not get a gear. If you roll at least 1 gear, take this card. If not, put 1 fate. All right, so I got to put a fate token out here. I don't know what these are going to be. I think I keep those at the end of the game. That goes away. All right. Eleanor investigated. I'm not going to have her go down the stairs. Nah. I'll have, they've got a lot of injuries here. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to burn time because there's no time limit here. Basically, I can just keep taking turns until Riot heals all their injuries, which, again, this is very weird to do, but it's the way the rules are. He just keeps healing them each turn. So a certain number of turns go by. There is no time limit on this particular scenario, which is odd. All right, but there is a staircase. All right, but it doesn't tell me what to do with A2. That's so weird. Oh, maybe that's the staircase up. If not, okay, roll 3. Oh, so you keep doing it. Okay, got it. This stays here. I need to roll. So here's the deal. We'll go back. I'm just going to have, so you keep putting, so I'm just going to track characters. So I'm going to roll 3 inspection. I need at least a gear. No gear, that's 1. No gear, that's 2. Gear. Okay, so I did roll a gear during one of their rounds, so I get the purple falcon. All right, which is probably going to tell me about A2. If any explorer in your zone has the encrypted map, discard both cards and take the red hand. I do have the encrypted map, which was right here. All right, so discard both these cards and take the purple hand. Purple hand. All right. The cipher key allows you to decrypt the map, which reveals a secret place. Your heart pounds. You wanted to go on a great adventure, and now you feel you're investigating a mystery that no one has examined. If the brown hand card is still available, read the positive epilogue. Is the brown hand still available? Yes. All right. Do I read it? Oh, if I had read it, captured, so I don't have to do that. So I did do the successful. Whew, man, what a game. That is crazy. All right, my only complaints. My only complaints. I never really felt any danger with this, mainly because it just says you can keep trying to roll 3 books, or you can break a chain. So basically you get 4 re-rolls, and if you break the chains, these are released. But because there's no time limit here, you can just keep going. That's odd. Now, there was a card missing, the purple hand, I think it was, or the purple, it was the purple, let me go back through these real quick. It wasn't the purple hand, it was the purple ankh. No, it wasn't. It was the brown ankh. Yes, the brown ankh did not. No, there was no brown ankh. That's what it was. I'll review the tape again. I'm going to have to email the company because that's a big one. That means there's something in the story didn't happen. But anyway, that was still fun. Let's see. I did not get all of the check marks I needed. I needed 6 of each to get all the rewards. So it looks like I'm going to have to skip. There are 3 rewards here. 3 of the green cards, 1, 2, 3. So let's go ahead and do this. So I got all of the magnifiers and all of the gears. I got 3 books, which I can only do 1, 2, 3. And I got 3 torches, so I can go 1, 2. I don't care about the VP. I want that event. So I'm going to check off these 3. I'm going to check off. I got 3 books. I can go 1, 2, 3. So I'm not going to get the green. I'm not going to be able to get all these checked off to get this green one, but I will have enough to get these 2. The green gong and so this one goes away. I don't get it. Let's see what I got. Terracotta flask, an artifact. At any time, you may choose a mechanical adversary and put this card next to it. That adversary's start of the turn effects do not apply while this card is in play. When the chosen adversary is defeated, you can discard this. Okay, that's going to be really powerful. And then I've got a burnished key. So that's probably going to come into effect in a later scenario. All right, so let's read the positive outcome. Let's see, Sand Sisters. The positive outcome, and I've only got 1 gold coin. Let's see, positive for episode 3. You've started gathering concrete proof of the existence of an ancient cult. What you hadn't planned on, however, was that it would still be active and ready to do anything to remain a secret. Its disciples seem to venerate a mysterious stone and a god, or perhaps a pharaoh. This hideout has housed zealots very recently. It seems to have been attacked by tomb robbers, or perhaps it was payback for the attack on the village. Take the bonuses from the check marks. Each explorer discards 1 fate token from their backpack. So he'll discard 1, 1, and 1. So the only one who will have a fate token in their backpack is Frank. He'll have 1 next turn. Now, money. I had 1 coin left in the backpack here, and according to the thing here, I'm going to get, let's see, I don't care about I don't need the money. I do need 1, 2, 3. So I can't get money or XP because I didn't have enough to fill all these. But I am going to get this one because I did have 6. So I'll get $3. And I get the first event, and I also got 3 of these, so I'll get this event. So I get 2 events, $3, and 2 XP. So somebody's going to get an upgrade. Now, what do those events mean? Well, you come here. It says events. Okay, so the way this works is, it says if you completed upgrade CO9. CO9, which is what? CO9. If you completed upgrade CO9 row. Oh, the CO9 row. The CO9 row. There is, oh, I see. If you haven't completed any event rows, put event EV6. If you completed at least 1 event row, EV7. If you completed 2 event rows, put EV8. I did complete at least 2 rows, so I get EV8. EV8 says, you find hidden meanings in the lyrics of the village's strange chants. If your interpretation is right, the objects worshipped by the cult is a rock fallen from the sky, a meteorite that struck the ground in the middle of the desert. Finding it could be the culmination of your expedition. Each explorer may discard 1 fate token from their backpack. All right, so he gets to put his fate token back. All right, so nobody has any fate tokens. If you completed the upgrade CO9 row during your explanation, CO9. Take the bonuses. The CO9. What is CO9? I think I did do that one somewhere. No, I didn't. CO9 is the mess hall. If you completed the upgrade CO9 row during your exploration. What is the CO9? Oh, upgrade CO9. Duh. Yeah, I did. You may take the mess hall. The mess hall costs $3. So what did I say? I got 3 gold coins. So I will buy this. And it says, take up to 2 reroll tokens from the camp box and distribute them however you like. Well, I already get 2 rerolls at the beginning of the game. So it looks like I'm going to get 2 more, which is really good. That's excellent. So 4 rerolls in all. And that is it. That's all I got for episode 3. New camp upgrades, though. I only have $1 left, so I can't buy these. I could buy the, what is this? The observatory. Each explorer may discard a fate token. Each explorer may pay a coin to discard 1 extra fate. Take a healing potion card from the camp box. Okay. Well, oh yeah, I forgot. These healing cards, there's 3 of them. They go in the camp box. Yeah, they go in here, and they stay in there once I buy that upgrade. I cannot buy that upgrade just yet, but I hopefully will be able to in a very near time. I have 2 gold left. Sorry, I have 2 coins. And I need 3 to get at least 1 of those upgrades. Yeah, they both cost 3, so I need another one to buy 1 of these. The healing potion card could be useful. I bought this one, so I have, yeah. So that's that. All right, that's all I got for this game. This is Jim, the Tabletop Engineer. Thanks for joining me as I played through another game of Arkeis. I hope you're enjoying this. It's buggy, it's got some errors, but it's still fun. It's still a cool little solo game that you can play. I'll be back very soon with the next episode, which is Scenario 4, which is called, Episode 4 is called The Heart of metal. I'll be back very soon. Everybody, take care.